Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. It's me again, Miss Aru, for your English time. Today, we're going to talk about when to use if, when to use unless, when to use until. Okay? So, it's still connected with our previous lesson, which is the first conditional. If you want to know more about the first conditional, you can check out my video about the first conditionals. Okay? Check out the first sentence. If I stay up here, I will be safe. This is our previous sentence, right? In the previous video. Yes, do you still remember what kind of sentence is this? Yes, this is a first conditional sentence. A first conditional sentence has a condition clause and a result clause. Yes, that's right. If I stay up here is the condition and the result is I will be safe. Now, let's take a look at our second sentence. Blah, I stay up here, I won't be safe. Wait, this is different from the first sentence. What's the difference? Yeah, the results are different. The result in the first sentence is I will be safe. The result in the second sentence is I won't be safe. But the conditions are still the same. So, if it is like this, I stay up here and the result is I won't be safe. Does that make sense if you use if? No, that won't make sense, right? So, in this sentence, the condition does not support the result, or the condition does not go along with the result. So the best word for the gap is unless. That's right. So in the first sentence, if I stay up here, I will be safe. The condition supports the result. Yes. And in the second sentence, the condition does not support the result. That's why you use unless instead of if. Now, let's take a look at our next sentence. Blah studies hard. He will get a good score. Do they get along well? Does the condition support the result? What's the condition? The condition is he studies hard. The result is he will get a good score. Does that make sense? Yes. If it does, then what to answer? What to fill in the gap? Yes, if. If he studies hard, he will get a good score. Here, the condition supports the result, right? Now, what about this? Blah studies hard, he won't get a good score. Does that make sense? No, that doesn't make sense. So, it means that the condition does not support the result. So, the best word to fill in the gap is unless. Okay? Now, let's see our next sentence. Oh, this is different, guys. This is in the past. Okay? The girl cried. Blah, she fell asleep. What do you fill in the gap? Do you fill in the gap with if? No. Do you fill in the gap with unless? No. What to fill in the gap then? You fill in the gap with until. What does that mean? The girl cried until she fell asleep. Okay. When she fell asleep, did she still cry? No. The girl stopped crying when she fell asleep. That's why we use until to show when an action stopped. Okay? And let's take a look at our next sentence. Lukman ran, blah, he couldn't run anymore. What to fill in the gap? That's right, until. So Lukman kept running, and then and then he couldn't run anymore, so he stopped running, right? So Lukman stopped running when he couldn't run anymore. That's why we use until. Lukman ran until he couldn't run anymore. Alright, now let's take a look at the grammar box here from your people's book. It says we use unless to say that if something doesn't happen, the second action or situation will happen. If something doesn't happen, the next action or the next situation will happen. Like this. Unless the man climbs up the tree, he will not be safe. If the man doesn't climb up the tree, he will not be safe. Yes, if something doesn't happen, then the next situation will happen. So unless means if not. Good. Yes, if this does not happen, if the man does not climb up the tree, then this will happen. Then he will not be safe. Okay? So he will have to climb up the tree to be safe. Next, we use until to say when an action stops, like this. The tiger ran around around the village until it got tired and hungry. Alright, so it means that the tiger kept running and running and running and running, but it stopped when it got tired and hungry. Okay, that's why we use until, to show or to say when an action stopped happening. Okay? Okay, if the description from your pupil's book is too complicated, just remember this. We use if when the condition supports the result. Okay? Example, if I study hard, I will get a good score. I study hard, I will get a good score. I study hard, I will get a good score. Of course, right? Okay. Now, we use unless when the condition does not support the result. Example, unless I study hard, I won't get a good score. I study hard, I won't get a good score. I study hard, I won't get a good score. Really? You sure? That's why in this case we use unless, because the condition does not support the result. Yes, unless I study hard, I won't get a good score. Now, we use until when we want to say when an action stopped. Example, the girl cried until she fell asleep, right? The girl kept crying, and she stopped crying when she fell asleep. Okay, that's why we use until. Show when an action stopped happening. Alright, now let's move on to the exercise. Let's practice. Number 1. If, unless, or until. Blah, the tiger is hungry, it will eat the man. The tiger is hungry, it will eat the man. The tiger is hungry, it will eat the man. Yes, that's right. They support each other. The conditions support the result. That's why the answer is if. Good. Number 2. We played the games, blah, our parents came home. Oh, look at the sentence. The sentence is in the past. So, is it about the first condition? No. So, the answer must be until. We stopped playing the games when our parents came home. Right? Number 3. Blah, my friends come to my house. I will show them my new storybooks. My friends come to my house. I will show them my new storybooks. Yes, they support each other. These conditions support the result. That's why you answer with if. Good. Number 4. I was in school, blah, 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon. This is so easy. Yeah. It is to show when an action stops. Until. Answer is until. So, what time did you leave school? You left school at 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon. Yes. Number 5. I can't go swimming. Now my parents go with me. I can't go swimming. My parents go with me. I can't go swimming. My parents go with me. Wait. What's the condition? My parents go with me. What's the result? I can't go swimming. Are you sure that's the result? No. So, the condition does not support the result. The answer must be unless. Very good. Alright, number 6. Blah, you tell me a story, I won't go to sleep. The little boy said to his father, oh, it's about a bedtime story. What does a bedtime story do? A bedtime story makes you sleep. Makes you want to sleep, right? So, when the boy says, you tell me a story, I won't go to sleep. You tell me a story, I won't go to sleep. Is it? It's about a bedtime story, but why is a sentence like that? Yes, that's right. It doesn't make sense, so you need to answer with unless. Good. Okay, before we end our video, I have a question for you. Please write your answer in your Google Classroom after this. Okay, my question is, when do you use if, when do you use unless, and when do you use until? Okay, now if you still have questions about the topic, feel free to contact me to my WhatsApp or email. Okay, thank you for listening to my explanation. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you again in my next video. Bye.